Well, hello, this is Rosa, rcgkreations, bringing to you part 2 of the canning canning beans video. Y'all with me when we canned these a couple days ago? Here's what they look like. This jar was used this lid was used 3 times. Now I'm going to open it up. Listen. Did you hear that? That means that's a good seal. Because these are Pintos, I'm going to drain the water. I'm not going to use it. So I got 2 of my little jars. This little residue that's left over, which is very common. Now I'm going to get my masher. I'm going to mash these and we're going to have refried beans. I'll bring you back. Okay, I got most of them mashed. See that? Just going to do a little bit more mashing. This is where it's nice when you make your own. So if you like, some people like to have a couple of bites of whole bean in there. Some don't. I don't. And since I'm making it, I get to do it my way. That's the one good thing about being the cook. You get to do what you want with it. I did have a little bit of moisture from the jar, the canning jar, which is good to have because it helps you have a little bit of liquid to mash your beans up a little bit. So just a very, very little. I would say probably like 3 tablespoons worth. You don't want to put too much liquid in there because don't forget, we're making these into refried beans. Okay, now let me get I just got a small pot because it's just hubby and I. A small pot, it's just hubby and I, so we don't need a whole bunch. Let me get all that goodiness out of there. You know what? We're going to do a quick little taste test before we do anything else. See how it's nice and thick? Because like I said, we're not going to do a whole lot of oil. I think I may have need to get in a bigger pot. I don't think so, but we'll see. That was 2 pint jars. And let's do a quick little taste test. Pintos. Okay, let me turn my burner on. I'm going to do this at a low. Okay, come on. Okay. I personally like to add oil. You can use olive oil, avocado, whatever oil. I'm going to be using avocado. You don't want a whole lot, but you want enough to coat all the beans. So while it's heating up, I'm going to stir this. And as you're stirring, if you think you need to mash some up, just go ahead and mash them up. If you're using a Teflon pan like I am here, this is the one good time. You want a masher that's Teflon coated so it doesn't scratch up the inside of your jar. Inside of your pan, not jar, pan. Okay, enchiladas are ready. I'm going to turn off the burner on the oven. And I'll take those out in just a minute. I just want to make sure this is all nice and stirred and all the beans have the oil. See that? They're nice and moist. They're heating up. Technically, you could eat these beans right out of the jar because they're already cooked. But I prefer my food warm, unless it's made to be cold. And I can see I can do a little bit more mashing. So as it's heating, I'm going to mash a little bit more here. Push that down. Can I get off the spoon? And you can add some salt, peppers, whatever additional seasons you want. But if you seasoned them, when you put them in the pressure canner, you don't necessarily have to add more unless you just personally want it. And this is where it comes into play, if you do what's best for you, because you're the cook. I think those are pretty mashy for me. Because this is plastic, I don't like to leave it over the open burner. But let me get my enchiladas and we'll show you our enchiladas. We're having enchiladas and refried beans for supper. And these were from my pre-made frozen meals that I did in my other videos. I think it was 4 enchiladas and I think it was 5 lasagnas. So we're set for the rest of them 2 months for meals. I think I'm going to add a little bit more oil just because I think it needs it. And I'm going to mash just a little bit more. I can see it bubbling, which is good. And really all you're doing is heating this up. But you're heating it up slowly. So by the time it took me, it was 5 minutes once I added the sprinkle of cheese on top. On the enchiladas. So it's been 5 minutes. I added my beans to my bowl. I washed them. But you can always have this done for you ahead of time. Is mash your beans. So that way the beans are ready at the same time the enchiladas are ready. But, because you need to, it's always best when you take something out of the oven, you let it rest for at least 2 to 5 minutes. Some items you need longer than that. Just follow your recipe. So by the time you do that and it's resting, you could be doing something else like this. And then when that main course is ready, your side dish like this is ready. Okay, I think we are mashed up pretty darn well. Look at that. Mashed up even better. Sometimes you need to do that, and sometimes you don't. Everyone's just different. Okay, so let's smooth this out. Let's get all these extra goodies off of here. Because what we don't eat tonight, we'll put in a leftover container for another day. It may go back to the freezer. Because it's okay to freeze this back up again because it's cooked. But I only like to freeze once. I don't like to freeze again. But more than likely because there's just I made just enough for me and hubby because we're empty nesters. And I'm going to soak this in a bowl of water. So when I come to do my dishes after our dinner, I won't have much of a chore to do. I'm going to get some water soaking on that bowl. Oh yeah. Look at that. See that? I put a little bit of water in my jars so they soak. So I don't have too much of a cleanup to do when I get back after dinner. So let's get a plate and let's serve ourselves. And I'll serve hubby a plate. Where's my little spatula? Okay, I must have used it. We'll get this spatula. So let's get us some little enchiladas. Ooh, they're nice and soft. I put extra sauce in mine because I like my tortillas on my enchiladas to be a little bit soft. Look at that. See that? Now let's get some beans. Let's get a fork. And let's do the taste test. Just the beans. I haven't seasoned nothing yet. Refried beans. Yeah, I could use a little bit of salt, but other than that, homemade refried beans out of pressure canned jars of beans. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.